Ladies and gentlemen, so for the last couple of days, I've been modding my old cell phone, and I think I'm gonna root it today. And basically, I'm very happy with the result. It's old. The warranty is pretty much voided. I would never use the warranty on it, and I was able to sideload a bunch of applications, and pretty much I brought it up to speed with everything I need to do in terms of productivity. Like I have a VoIP over IP application on this, have all the games I need. I also have I don't know, pretty much maybe even a fax machine in here. I don't know, but I gotta root it and get rid of some what they call bloatware. So just so you know, if you got an old cell phone, you certainly can do that. And what is rooting? Rooting is basically booting up your phone from a disk. And how do you attach a disk? Well, the disk is your computer. So it's kind of like booting Windows from a disk. In this case, you're booting the phone from a disk, which is your computer, and then you can sort of like delete all the stuff that the carrier put on it, and then put all your stuff on it, and it brings your phone up to speed with all the applications that you didn't bother to do, didn't bother to install the first time around. So I'm very happy with the state of my current old phone. All right, so today's CommGiving is about how to improve your cell phone reception. Okay, so I just did an experiment at home, and I thought I'd share it so that you guys can save the trouble. Okay, so for my old for my this cell phone that I'm using, HTC, my touch is perfectly fine now with a VoIP and everything on it. Um, I have this. I have these earbuds, right? I have these earbuds. So let me put them on. Let me put them on. I have these earbuds that you guys all have, right? As well. All right. And this is the way to improve your cell phone reception. As I'm sitting right now, I'm getting like 3 bars, whereas before it would be hopeless. Okay, it would be hopeless. So what did I do? Okay, so I'm of the school of thought that adding tinfoil to your phone in any way, even with stickers and stuff, does not work. All right, because um, the science I choose is that if it's a passive, the antenna on this cell phone is not passive antenna; it's an active antenna. So when it receives the signal, right, there's something in there, right, that translates the signal, right. So it's an active antenna. But if you add anything like this, the antenna becomes longer, the passive part of it, so that too much current, too much of the signal is received by the, so what do you call it, like the transmitter receiver, right? And its analogies to speakers. If the speaker receives too much voltage, right, the receiver transmitter will blow, like the will be all like feedback, right? So you don't want to add so like more passive antenna to impede or blow out the processing, the active part of the antenna. So when you add something like this, and you add like tinfoil to it, what you're doing is sort of like collecting more of the frequency. It'll blow out the little receiver, right? So what you do, and I tested it all over the house, use duct tape. So especially if you have like a long cord like this, and you think it'll improve your reception, but strangely enough, it doesn't. It's because you're receiving too much. Let's 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 kind of just do it like slang, right? You're receiving too much electromagnetic frequency. It's blowing out the little antenna engine, right? Just like speakers. You're receiving too much voltage, it's blowing out the um, equalizer or something. Right? So to reduce that, you wrap it in duct tape. And where do you wrap it? Well, you kind of wrap it strategically, right? Like here's the Y here, so I wrap it here so it doesn't come apart. And here, this part is always so sensitive. I wrap it here with duct tape. And so now it's kind of more heavy duty, and the duct tape impedes that extra frequency, all that extra electromagnetic energy that would blow out your sort of like receiver, and what you get is a really strong signal. And I'm in the middle of my condo, and I got, that's not bad, 2.5 bars, 2.5 bars. I'm getting 2.5 bars just sitting here. That's not bad. So my experiment with increasing your signal strength works. So remember, all right, you add like a antenna, like rabbit ears, right? That's the passive part. But then all that frequency gets like ends up at a little processor, like a little active part of the antenna. And if too much energy goes there, what you get kind of like with speakers is that you get this sort of like mesh, this jumble of electromagnetic energy. And so it actually reduces your signal strength. So when you have something like this, which is long cord, which actually picks up too much frequency and electromagnetic energy, what you gotta do is you gotta insulate it to reduce that effect. And what happens when you do that is your signal is consistently stronger. It's 2.5 bars in the middle of my condominium, basically a concrete box. So I'm more than happy with the result. So usually people add tinfoil, and I tried that. I take tinfoil all over the freaking place. It actually reduced my signal strength. So I took it all apart, and then I was back to zero, right? And then as I by adding this earpiece, it's kind of cutting it down a little bit. So you got to insulate it with duct tape. And when you do, your signal's a lot stronger. Because you know why? This phone, the antenna designed for this phone, and the active part of the signal processor is perfectly engineered for this phone. So when you add like a big rabbit ear, there's too much. Like it depends, right? Say like you're in an area covered with trees and everything, and you need to be above the sight line, then that's what those long extensions are for. But if you're in the middle of the city, right, those long extensions just ends up picking up more electromagnetic energy from all directions. And what it does is kind of like analogous to speakers, audio speakers. What it does is it picks up so much energy, actually not blows this out, but gives it a lot of feedback, and it reduces your signal strength. It clogs it, right? But so those rabbit ears are only good when there's like high tree lines, and you need to be above the tree line. But if you're in the middle of the city, most likely it's coming at you from all directions like a big magneto bubble. What you gotta do when you got an extension like this, it's insulated with duct tape, not tinfoil tape. That kind of keeps your cell phone in balance, because the antenna that comes with cell phone and the processor that processes the frequency is perfectly engineered for its size. You add anything else, it'll blow it just like speakers. So that's CommGiving for today. Okay. I'm glad to see myself as well. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.